Picture this, it's New Year's Eve. The clock strikes midnight, and you're surrounded by the buzz of resolutions. You pledge to make this year different, promising yourself that this time, you'll achieve more than ever before. Fast forward 12 months, the ball drops again, and as you reflect on the years gone by, you realize something alarming. Despite your best intentions, you've fallen short of the goals you set, trapped in an endless cycle of procrastination and distraction. Don't worry, a lot of us fall into that trap too. Many of us create resolutions because they come from external pressures rather than coming from within. And I want to help you with that. I want to help you set realistic goals that you can achieve and help you succeed. I want to help you create a roadmap. That way you can figure out how to succeed more in 1 week than most people do within 1 year. So the first tip I have for you is to identify your goals. So why is it that people can never really achieve their New Year resolutions? It's because there's no true motivation coming from within, leading to external behaviors. It just doesn't happen naturally from inside, and we don't want to take action because of it. You want to set SMART goals. And SMART's an acronym which stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. By setting SMART goals, it helps you really define what your goals are and how you're going to achieve it. So a goal of, I want to gain 5 pounds of muscle by the end of 6 months is very smart. In World War II, the Germans had an efficient gas can that the Americans wanted to emulate. They soon got their hands on one, and from there deduced how to make one themselves. They figured a gasket made the mouth leak-proof. An air-breathing tube from the spout to the airspace kept the pouring smooth. And most important, the can's insides were lined with an impervious plastic material developed for the insides of steel beer barrels. This enabled a can to be alternatively used for gasoline and water. So this was the invention of the jerry can. It was made by reverse engineering that the Americans had an efficient canister to carry gasoline and water during the war. So the same can be said when achieving our own goals. We want to imagine ourselves at that finish line of what Wesley would look like at 5 pounds of extra muscle, and then work backwards to figure out how we're going to get there, all the way back to the start of where I am currently. So the goal is I want to gain 5 pounds of muscle by the end of 6 months. I have to figure out what that looks like. So I'm most likely going to have to go to the gym more often, and I'm going to have to eat much more food and protein. And so then I can break it down to my week. I think throughout my week, 3 times to the gym sounds reasonable within my schedule. And eating extra protein during dinner sounds more reasonable for me. So that's one way I can create a roadmap of how I'm going to achieve my goal. Your habits will determine your future. Routines can often be mundane, but mundane doesn't have to be boring. They're the secret sauce behind the success of some of the world's most accomplished individuals. From CEOs to athletes to artists, routines provide the structure and consistency needed to turn lofty aspirations into tangible achievement. So do you want to be a runner? Then you have to run more. If you want to be a writer, you're going to have to write more. Habits are essentially who we are. What we do, we become. And that is how we can break down our weeks into days and figure out how we want to achieve our goals from then on. So with me gaining 5 pounds of muscle, I want to break it down from that week into that day of ideally lifting more and eating more. And that's how I'm going to change my goals. So in The Power of Habit, it talks about how we can change our habit. So in The Power of Habit, it explains why habits exist and how they work. It consists of 3 elements: a cue, a routine, and a reward. The cue is the trigger, the routine is the action, and the reward is what you get at the end. Say you have an urge to play video games because you're bored. So the boredom is actually the trigger. If you want to change that, you want to find a reward that is similar to that euphoria you feel of playing video games. If you change the action of wanting to play video games to go running, that's how you change the habit. Whenever you feel bored, instead of playing video games, you can go out on a run, and by the end of it, you get the same reward of having something done. You open your phone, to quickly check a notification, only to find yourself mindlessly scrolling through social media for hours on end. Does that sound familiar? Well, there's a reason behind this digital rabbit hole. It's called the social media algorithm. But here's the kicker. While you're busy scrolling, these algorithms are busy working overtime to keep you hooked. They know your likes, dislikes, and every scroll, like, and comment you make. And guess what? They're not in it for your well-being. They're in it for one thing and one thing only: your attention. Our attention is the currency in the digital age, and that's why for this next tip, we want to be able to eliminate distractions such as social media addiction. The algorithms are made to feed on what we like and dislike and just fuel our emotions. And at times, we want to reach for the phone when we just don't have the time to do so. So what I encourage to do is to enable technology blockers. I bought this content blocker online to be able to prevent me seeing a social media feed on Instagram and Facebook. I can still contact people through Messenger, but I cannot see a feed or stories through there. I also have these focus modes where I don't receive any notifications during my work hours. So I set my work hours from 8 to 5, that way Facebook and Instagram notifications don't bother me. And I also set a do not disturb when I wake up as well. That way I don't get bombarded with notifications. The worst thing you want to do when you get up out of bed is to reach for your phone and you're just left scrolling. That I also just turn my phone off at night. There's nothing truly important or urgent for me to have my phone on. I know there are some special cases such as doctors that need it, or if that's the case, you should probably get a second phone and just turn your main phone off at night. And I don't even turn my phone on until after I've woken up, taken a shower, and gotten ready, and I'm up on my 2 feet away from my bed. So you want to make sure that you reach your phone after you've gotten up on your own 2 legs. So these are my tips for you to how to achieve more in 1 week than most people do in 12 months. By setting SMART goals, reverse engineering those goals, by making them into a daily habit, eliminating distractions. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Wesley, and if you really enjoy these type of videos, you can click here to view my latest video on productivity and efficiency. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned for more. Thank you.